Jesus Christ, this podcast again. All right.
What?
What? Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Wrestling Paradox Podcast. My name is the one, the only Daddy Swolsive. Can I call myself that? Am I allowed to coin my own term?
You can coin whatever you want of yourself.
You
All right.
do whatever you want with coins.
The scumbag in the building. Fuck loose back there. That should be our opening. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wrestling Paradox Podcast brought to you by the one, the only M&J Ecological, not can be confused with E&J Ecological, which will clean out your system.
However, since you did coin that, it is now time
Boom for the
to crack
E&J.
open a cold one with the boys. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is also brought to you not necessarily exactly as in a sponsorship, but it is brought to you by E&J Brandy. Go down to your local liquor store, step over your local wino, get into the door.
You have to step over your local crackhead while you're getting that too. Is that right next to the Mad
second
Dog?
to bottom shelf of your local liquor store?
Is it right next to Mad Dog?
No. The Mad Dog's in the cold in the fridge. So no, it's definitely
No,
not next to Mad Dog.
he's buying his liquor in some fancy neighborhood by a golf course in Florida if he's stepping over the wino.
Right.
Boom. Look at that classy rocks glass. That's a nice glass.
Stay thirsty, my friends. No, that's stolen. I have to come up with one. E&J, people,
I'll beep it.
I'm gonna work on that for you guys. Next
All
week,
right.
I'll have some.
So anyway, E&J is not sponsoring us just yet, but M&J is. So 305-697-2258. Make sure you guys reach out to Marcus again, 305-697-2258 for any M&J ecological needs. All right, so I don't have anything pulled up yet. I'm still working. I just walked into the house. I'm sorry. So I know it starts off with me just talking and you guys shutting me up. So let's start there.
Well, no, we can talk about. You don't have, since you're doing that. You didn't want to talk about Backlash, so we could talk about Backlash for a second.
Well, because nobody watches Backlash. I mean, I watch Backlash, but that's because I watched it. But Chris Thrasher didn't watch Backlash.
Oh no, I watched a little bit of Backlash, but
I did also watch Backlash.
Before we started recording, I told them about the conversation we were having today about the attendance and how much the tickets were, and if WWE possibly lost money and how much money they lost.
Of course they lost money, bro. We talked about today, me and you, with it was what, average price was $87 after taxes and fees for a ticket in Puerto Rico, $87. So it's like they definitely lost money going there. I mean, so that's where you got to look at it. Was Puerto Rico ever a money-making place? Because of how like poverty-stricken that island is.
So, I mean, I think for the promoters there it is, because they're running they're probably not, their overhead is nowhere near as WWE is.
Yeah, me and Thrasher talked about today, you know, like you see someone like Carlito coming out, right? And Savio Vega. We know, being affiliated with CCW, who runs that territory down there, the Colognes. And, you know, Carlito, Savio Vega, Chris Masters, they're all in that circle. So I guarantee with them going to the island, they had to put a phone call in to act almost like mob style, probably ask for permission. Hey, can we have this match down there? You know, can we have this pay-per-view? You know, and Carlito was probably on the table like, hey, if you want to come down here, Carlito has to be on the show.
Probably. Were the rest of them on the show?
Yeah, Savio Vega was.
But the Colognes though.
No, just Carlito.
Yeah, just Carlito.
You know, they're still gonna have the final say, and like, yeah.
Then that's why I didn't watch it, because they didn't have both Colognes.
That's what it was. I wanted the one that stabbed.
That's not cool.
Yeah, that's not cool.
That's not
great spot. Great spot. Savio Vega still has the roundhouse. Still get the leg up. You know. So King of the Ring. So let's see. I mean, we're gonna. So what do you guys want to talk about? You guys want to talk about favorite pay-per-view sets? We can do that. Let's jump to that. Obviously, everybody's gonna say the swinging hooks. Is that everybody's favorite pay-per-view set? That's what I wanted to talk about. So here's the thing. So me and Slawson got to talking, right? And we were talking about Backlash, and I said, well, let's do favorite pay-per-view sets. And like, because I like pay-per-view sets. It brings like Nowadays, wrestling sucks. Everything's exactly the fucking same. It's all the same, unless it's WrestleMania. Then they do either a roller coaster in Orlando, the Hollywood Walk of Fame. It's something, right? Aside from that, Monday through Sunday to Monday to Sunday is all the fucking same shit, right? So if you think about it, everybody has their favorite sets. For me, I loved Halloween Havoc. I love the giant pumpkin. I thought that was so cool. Really brought the feel together. I'm seeing Thrasher shake his head because he loves a shout out to WCW. But the hooks were cool too. The Backlash hooks were dope as fuck. But then you have other ones. I mean, there's so many good sets. King of the Ring sets back in the day. I remember the TLC where they had 1,000 chairs just hanging. I thought those were cool. Little things like that. But Noah, what was your favorite set? What was your favorite like pay-per-view set?
Well, I have a few. I mean, for different reasons, I guess. I mean, the King of the Ring set, kind of on topic, with the giant chair, looking the giant throne joint. I like that one. Obviously the swinging hooks. I do think, honestly, I have a couple like sleepers. Not really sleepers, but like they were kind of specific to like one guy. I was a big fan of the WrestleMania 20 set just for Kane's entrance because the whole cityscape thing kind of set on fire. And then I believe it was 21 in the Money in the Bank where they had the ladder set up over the pyro cannons and the ladders caught fire.
Fire, yep.
And I was
Yes.
like, that was perfect. Other than that, I really liked WCW going out of their way for like Hog Wild, just getting all the racists together to boo the shit out of Harlem Heat as they entered as tag team champions. I think them going out of their way to get those 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 crisis actors um just to boo the shit out of every black talent that they had on the roster at the time. I think that was really really authentic touch.
To professional wrestling. That was great. Yeah, no, fucking yeah, that pay-per-view is fucking nuts. It's just a bunch of people revving their engines and like fucking just fucking feeling their fucking skinny ass biker chick fucking or super fat ass biker chick. But
And or fat. There was no in between. It was just
there's no
two
it's
extremes.
kind of everywhere. Much like America, it's only one extreme to either side.
See, everyone's forgetting one big pay-per-view that transcended them all for stages. In Your House, the original In Your House.
You know what? In your yeah,
You're
know what?
going
I did
historic
pop when
with it.
NXT did that a couple years ago when they brought back the whole.
But the original one, remember the entrance, they came through the door.
Yeah.
The door opened, they came through the door. Also, another pay-per-view.
Shawn Michaels came off the roof.
He did.
Well, he did. He did.
Yeah.
What about the original SmackDown set with the fist?
But that's not pay-per-view.
It's not a pay-per-view.
Okay, but I'm just all right. Favorite sets. Favorite.
Also,
for sure. Then if you're doing that.
Also, if you remember, what was the Royal Rumble that was down here that Rey Mysterio won? It was like a Coliseum.
It was like royal and shit. It was like a royal.
That was in Miami. That was in Miami.
That's when I was at, and it they had guards that opened up the door like a drawbridge type deal.
Like
was
the
pretty
old
cool.
school King of the Ring shit.
I was also and I know we joke about this a lot. Fucking Rumble 2000 with the taxi hanging off of
the taxi coming off. Yeah, Jeff Hardy jumps off of it, right?
Yes. No. Jeff Hardy, he jumped off one of the it was just a random like doorway.
Somebody jumped off.
He didn't actually jump off the taxi.
No, I know which one he's talking about. It was the same Royal Rumble that Bob Backlund was in the Royal Rumble, and he was only in the Royal Rumble for like 5 or 6 seconds. He got in, did his little stomp around, and then got thrown out. And he didn't go through the entranceway. He went like up the crowd, and the way he went up the crowd, it looked like he went into the taxi. So like everyone that like was watching it like all together were like, where'd Bob go? And everyone's like, oh, he's in the taxi. He's in the back of the taxi. He hasn't been
He would.
eliminated. He's just trying to catch a
He's just there.
ride. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
He's
Rumble
still there,
2000
yeah.
was great. I also did like I think it was SummerSlam '98. Was that
98, dude. That's the best pay-per-view of all time. Ever.
SummerSlam '98 with the fucking was it
It's
Highway to Hell? Is that what they're
fucking
calling it?
great. Yeah, dude,
Mhm.
with the gate and everybody
Yeah,
go
with
to
the
the
gates and
bathroom with
shit.
just walking behind it. And it has that
You
cool
could
ass
see
logo.
everybody on the
Yeah.
hard cam walking
People, yeah.
behind.
You know,
And then
it's
Kane's
not,
entrance was not a surprise because you could see him come.
it's
Yeah,
not
we
a
see
it's
it
not
very
a
well
not a
done.
pay-per-view, but how much did we not appreciate the original like WCW Monday night and
That's
like
what I'm saying.
that entrance was great, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
The Monday
no
night feature.
screens, very simplistic. You didn't have to worry about VR packages, none of that shit, man. You just had steel, flames, and bitches with big titties.
Nitro girls, dude. Nitro
Sasha's
girl.
the best.
How
Sasha.
about this
I don't know their
one?
names.
Everyone forgets this one too. WrestleMania 9.
Oh, that's Little Caesars, right? Little
No.
Caesars,
Mhm.
Caesar
Little
Palace.
Caesars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, they had Little Caesars there.
Pizza.
WrestleMania 9, the whole arena was the set.
Right.
And like I think that was pretty cool. That was pretty dope.
Speaking of great sets, you know, you got AEW about to take over Wembley and just take over London for
Are
how
they gonna have a cool set?
I hope so. I really hope they cash in and have a dope ass set. If they
I
don't
haven't really liked a lot of their sets.
bro, a good set can lead to a great show. Like you're when you see
Yeah, because you get hyped up. You're like, oh, this
like,
is
oh, that's fucking cool, man.
that's fucking cool.
Yo,
Dude, when I was a kid,
Yeah.
I used to watch fucking Sunday Night Heat. Like, even if I wasn't getting the pay-per-view, I was stoked to watch Sunday Night Heat to see what the pay-per-view was gonna look like. And then I just rent it later at Blockbuster.
Bro, me and Chris were at WrestleMania the year the Hardys returned. And let me tell you
Oh,
something.
I was at that one.
In 2017, independent wrestling was hotter than ever. There was nothing that could touch independent wrestling back then with, you know, Adam Cole, Cody Rhodes, Jay Lethal. You have Brian Cage and Darby Allin and what's the body bag? A body bag match.
No, it was Ethan Page. Ethan Page.
Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Like, dude, all these shows are great. And then at the end of it on Sunday, and now we got there what Thursday, Friday,
Yeah.
and we did how many shows?
We probably did 5 shows. Because
5, 6.
we drove from Orlando to Lakeland and we did the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor pay-per-view and then drove back. But that morning we started at 7 in the morning with pancakes and pile drivers.
My favorite pay-per-view or my favorite show we went to. My favorite show. We watched King Ricochet versus King Swerve Scott. We watched Penelope Ford go off a 20-foot ladder, 30-foot ladder. We watched what we thought was a shoot beat down of a bull.
Eddie Kingston beat the brakes off of Adam Rose because it was when Adam Rose came back as like Adam Kruger or whatever, and it was like a shoot style match, and Eddie Kingston, demolished him with a trash can.
Bloody. And
I mean,
that was a great show. But anyway, back to it. The reason I brought that up is
but after we're leaving the pancakes and pile driver to go to Lakeland, Eddie Kingston's standing outside smoking a cigarette, and I'm just like, "Oh, good match, Eddie." And he was like, "Thanks, bro." And like literally, he's just sitting there, just dragging it. You see blood just coming from his hands, just from beating the shit out of him. It's like,
yo, we get to WrestleMania that day. Great match with so we get to WrestleMania, and there's a roller coaster. I was hyped walking in there. That was dope to see a roller coaster out there. I'm like, damn, they really put some time, and it looked legit. It looked legit. I was like, oh man, we could probably ride that shit, you know. But yeah, great entrances can pop you. I heard someone bring up the King of the Ring entrances. I know I brought them up. You know, you go back to the King of the Ring, and it was a house show. You know?
Which is crazy.
It was a house show. And
I was telling Chris before this when we were waiting for you, I was like, I wrote that outline, sent it out, typed fucking Don Morocco 1985, all that shit. Thought about it for a second, sent it out, sent it to you guys. I was sitting on my couch watching TV, kind of high. And I was like, 1985? That doesn't sound right at all. I was like, did I just send them a bunch of bullshit? And then I had to like look. I honestly didn't even know. But yeah, it was all house shows that didn't get recorded until Fucking.
Who was our first winner?
Don Morocco.
Morocco, 1985.
Oh, I don't have a year here.
85, because I don't think they classified it as official until 1993.
Yeah, okay. So you have who you have? You have Brett Owen, right?
Mhm.
Brett and Owen.
Who
So
won in
yeah,
95?
Mabel.
King Mabel.
How do you
Come-
not put that on here?
That's what
That's
I
not
said.
a notable winner. What the fuck?
Stone
He
Cold.
beat Diesel in the finals, and if
Not
you
a
remember,
notable winner, but we gonna put Ken
that's
Shamrock.
what he
his
sits on,
fucking-
and he breaks his back.
Yeah,
That's a notable match.
Hold
Yeah,
on, hold
that's
on.
not good.
I'm gonna read these off to you. Notable winners, as I quotation mark this.
Yeah,
Bret Hart,
absolutely.
Owen Hart, Stone Cold. Now that's 93, 94, 96. 97 is Triple H. Notable winners, 1998, Ken Shamrock.
Absolutely.
And guess who he leaves off?
Who gives a fuck what Ken Shamrock has done for this business? Did Ken Shamrock, if anything, ruin this
He
fucking?
didn't do anything with his business. He won the
Why is he a
1998
notable
King of the
winner?
Ring.
Why is he?
You know who also won at the
I don't say
1998 King of the Ring?
King Booker won King of the Ring.
won the title at the 98
King
King of the Ring.
Booker. I don't see King Booker. I don't see the greatest king of all time, King Wade Barrett. Like, what are we doing? Where's Jerry the King Lawler?
He never what?
That's a notable
I'm
king.
just saying anybody with
Where's
King in the
Burger
ring.
King?
I believe he won in 1989. That was 89 that Burger King won.
Well,
Ken
Oh.
Shamrock, that's a great King of the Ring. You guys remember that King of the Ring? It's great.
what about Billy Gunn? Billy Gunn won it. What happened there?
He's not very notable. He went to a kiss my ass match at SummerSlam with The Rock because he won the King of the Ring.
I think technically you would have to say Billy Gunn is notable because he was the first one who kind of, well, technically,
The first one to be in
actually,
a
he
kiss
wasn't.
my ass match.
No. I was gonna say he was the first one who had like all these high hopes and nothing ever happened. But technically, that would be Ken Shamrock.
Well,
Yeah.
Well, Ken
That's why
Shamrock's
it's
notable. Yeah, it's a notable. Yeah.
do you know why Billy
That
Gunn
is
gets passed up so
noteworthy.
much? You guys know why Billy Gunn gets passed up so much, right? You know what else
Because
happened?
he's bigger than Hulk Hogan.
Because he's asthmatic.
But what else happened that night that Billy Gunn won it? That's the night that Mankind got thrown off the cage.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh
And
yeah,
a lot
that's
of
right,
people
yeah.
forget that. A lot of people forget that was King of the Ring.
Wait,
You're
what? No, that was 98. That was
No,
Ken
that was-
Shamrock.
I was gonna say that wasn't
That was Ken Shamrock.
No, when did Billy Gunn win it?
99.
99.
99.
I'm an idiot.
That's the one where the
No,
McMahon
no,
they're in
no.
that handicap ladder match or whatever the fuck.
Fuck Ken Shamrock.
But well, maybe that's why
Fuck
nobody
you, Bill.
remembers Ken Shamrock because of Mankind.
Bill.
Dude, you know what? I heard a great story about Mankind in that match and at that King of the Ring is that he was so fucked up that he went to the back and he asked Bruce Pritchard if they got the fucking thumbtack spot in.
Yeah.
He was covered in thumbtacks. That's how like out of it.
Dude,
Pretty
he's
nuts.
an animal. You know, and like Undertaker talked about that on Joe Rogan podcast, and they you know it's funny because Joe Rogan like hates wrestling, and
Yeah,
he
he
goes
does.
into that interview. Oh, he hates wrestling, guys. I don't know if you guys know, but he hates
I
it.
didn't know that.
And Undertaker goes on that show, and you could tell Joe Rogan opens the show like nonchalant, like, "Oh, we have Mark Calloway, Undertaker, the wrestler," and the Undertaker's like, "Yeah, so I've been wrestling on no hip for the past 13 years. My right shoulder is completely gone. I don't have a ball joint in my knee anymore, but I just carried a full-time schedule for the past 6 years of my life." And he's like, "What?" Like, Joe Rogan's like, "How's that possible that you like?" Because now he's showing X-rays to Joe Rogan. He's like, "Yeah, this has been gone since like 1998." And Joe Rogan's like, "How are you walking without that?" And he's like, "It's the show, man. Wrestling's got to
He's
go."
a dead man.
Yeah.
He's in there. He doesn't
Dead
look-
man walking.
It's all
Obviously-
replacement parts.
Obviously, Joe Rogan brings up the one thing that everybody remembers. You threw the guy. He goes, "You threw that guy off the steel cage," and it's like, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Mick's a good guy." And he's like, you know, when I threw Mick down and that choke slam and he went through the ring, he goes, I thought he died. He goes, that was the moment. Because he was like, they were asking him, like, was there any moment where you were going to back off? Because, you know, Mick kept coming forward. And he's like, when I threw him through the ring and he hit the ground and he hit the ring, he goes, I thought he died. And it was at that moment I was like, we have to stop. Like, this is it. Can't go any further. So it's
You know what's great about that moment is that somehow the great Terry Funk will forever be the guy that gets choke slammed
Getting
out of
choke
his
slammed
shoes.
out of his shoes.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, you have on like Air
Mick is selling
Monarchs.
on the floor. Yeah. There
I
you
loved
go.
it
Didn't
too
he have
because
on Air Monarchs?
yes, he did. And what I loved about that is you can see that Terry Funk being the true professional that he was. He just stood up and he just looked at Undertaker and mumbled chokeslam. And literally, that's all.
Exactly.
That's all it was. He just mumbled.
Like-
you could just you could hear it. He just goes chokeslam. And
That's the
Undertaker's like, okay.
definition of like the show must go on. He's like, brother, we got to buy him some time, brother.
He's slowly dying. We gotta fucking give him a
We
second.
gotta
He'll take
buy
a
him
bump
some
for you in a
time.
minute.
He's either gonna
'Cause-
die or
well,
he's
at
gonna
that,
come
if you
true.
remember,
Either
well,
way,
if
we
you
need some time.
before he chokeslammed Terry Funk, he was still on the top of the cage, so he had
Yeah.
to hang down to drop down for
On his
for it.
broken foot.
you know he had a
On his-
broken ankle.
Yeah, he had a
Yeah,
broken
fucked
foot.
up ankle. That's what I love
So-
about that Stone Cold Kane match too, is that Stone Cold is fucked up. Yeah, I think he had staph or some shit. Undertaker had to do that running with the broken foot. Mankind's
Mhm.
fucked up, and he comes in there like it's all tied together. It's fucking nuts.
But like you know, so you had to gain, you had to buy some kind of time. So Terry Funk, like I said, being the true professional that he is, just stands up and just goes choke slam.
So wait, who was better,
Weasel.
Terry Funk or Snoop Dogg? What Snoop Dogg just did in the ring.
I mean, that's very close.
I'm not
I'm
one.
not saying it looked good, but
But does Snoop Dogg call it? No, somebody
I'm
else
not
told him to
one
do it.
to kind of. I'm not gonna be one to like take away from my brethren, but you can actually on camera hear the ref screaming people's
Punch him.
elbow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
so.
right. Yeah, he
I
didn't think
get
It
it.
wasn't Snoop's call. He just kind of like happened.
But
to
for
be
he
there.
fucking
punch.
rose to the occasion. But
Yeah, no, for
Punch.
sure.
What? Like, okay, it's easy for Terry Funk to walk in there and go choke slam me. Like for them to be like, hey yo, you gotta throw a punch and run the ropes. Good luck, Snoop. You got 70,000 watching you. That's not easy, man, to throw a punch.
No, for sure it's
Snoop's
not.
a
For sure
Snoop's
it's
a
not. I don't know.
professional.
I'm gonna put them neck and neck.
Yo,
With that, when you put it into context of Snoop not being a wrestler and Terry having done it for all of his life,
like I said, it's easy to just take a choke slam. I took a clipboard to the head from fucking some loser in CCW. That was easy. But if you told me to fucking go in there and throw some punches, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck do you mean throw
Who
some punches?
hit you?
I'm actually, you know what? I'm gonna give Snoop Dogg a little bit more credit only because throwing a
More
work
people are
punch
watching.
is actually very hard to do. And
Yo,
making
it's
it
not
look
easy to
halfway
throw a
decent.
punch.
It's harder, and to run the ropes when you don't really know how to run the ropes.
Yeah, you don't know how to run the ropes
Yeah.
at all.
Yo, but
In a 20 by 20 or whatever their fucking ring is huge.
But if we're gonna talk about
In
stepping
Chuck
into
Taylor's, no.
a moment, if we're gonna talk about stepping into a moment, there's only one person I have to get credit to, and he's on this podcast, and that's Chris Thrasher. Because let me tell you something. I don't know if you guys ever watched the video of me getting clipped by a clipboard by that fucking loser. But Chris Thrasher's slide as a referee is one of the most
Yeah, it's great.
Top notch. I call it right down the middle.
right now. Yo, let me tell you something. Chris slid in for that pinfall, and I was out bleeding. And when I read and saw the match back, I was like, nice slide. Nice fucking slide. Like in shorts.
Yes, in shorts.
Good slide.
Great.
In shorts.
Let's fast forward here. So we had
How about no? How about this? How about we talked about the notable winners of the King of the Ring? How about the people that haven't won the King of the Ring that should have won the King?
Jerry the King Lawler,
Razor Ramon,
Razor Ramon, Bam Bam Bigelow,
he's
Kurt
tattooed.
Hennig.
Jake the Snake.
Yeah. Fucking.
I
feel
don't
Did
know.
Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels never won it.
Shawn Michaels never
I
won,
don't
but
know.
that's a great match with him and Stone Cold and that fucking King of the Ring. That's a great King of the Ring.
I'm not gonna say that these people should have won it though, because I feel like them not winning is kind of like what adds to the allure of the other guy that beat them.
Yeah, but what a lore does Ken Shamrock give you in 1998?
Well, that was just a bad call.
Dude, he had
a
I think they had higher hopes for him.
not 6 months prior, he had a world title championship match against Shawn Michaels at In Your House Degeneration X, Chris. He was a seasoned veteran ready for
very
the
high
spot.
hopes for him at the time.
Yeah.
Who did Ken Shamrock beat in the finals of that King of the Ring? Who did he beat in the finals?
It was The Rock, but didn't The Rock technically win because didn't Ken Shamrock get disqualified because he held on to the ankle lock too long? I think that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or was that The Rock?
Or did The Rock get this? I think it was that way, right? That The Rock got disqualified.
I feel like that was the Ken Shamrock.
That was an Intercontinental title match.
Yeah.
That was the Intercontinental.
Dude, that was the whole payoff.
Title match that you're referring to, Slawson. Did he remember? Did he wrestle The Rock that night at King of the Ring?
Yeah.
100%?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That wasn't the finish to that. The finish, because I watched this not too long ago, was the finish to what you're speaking of was an Intercontinental title match. Shamrock won the Intercontinental title with the ankle lock, but did not let go.
Was that at the Rumble or Mania? That was one of those.
Rumble, I believe, but it
I
was.
believe it was okay. Yeah. Okay. And then that fucking match, that Rock Shamrock match, is actually really fucking funny because Triple H is doing commentary with them, and there's a fucking line he says to JR that I always love. It's after like a fucking near fall, and JR goes, "Oh boy, that was too close to call," and Triple H is like, "Why don't you drop your pants and measure how close it was, JR?" And I fucking die every time.
So this was the road to the finals for Ken Shamrock. He defeated Jeff Jarrett. The Rock defeated Dan Severn. So the finals were Ken Shamrock defeating The Rock by submission.
Okay.
And the match went 14 minutes and 9 seconds. And then right after that was The Undertaker defeating Mankind. And then right after that, I don't know how this match went on after it. The First Blood Kane versus Stone Cold match.
But really, like, it doesn't make you ever, like, if you watch them back to back, you don't, at least me, I've never felt that one is less. One is just as crazy. One has just as much cool shit. I don't know. I feel like they lack. It's like a yin and yang kind of thing. But I definitely
there's no yin and yang.
Honestly,
someone died in a match. Like there's no yin and yang. Like the guy was dead.
No,
they brought him back to life.
But he didn't though.
But he didn't though. In my head, I feel like my mind separates those two. Like my mind separates the Undertaker and Mankind match from the Austin and Kane match. Like my mind puts them on completely.
And Austin wasn't supposed to lose that match. Kane was supposed to lose that match somehow, but that's why he only held the title for less than 24 hours. They put it right.
Well, he said he was going to burn himself alive, though.
Yeah, they couldn't.
So how are they going to do
burn himself alive on camera?
Yeah.
When I was a kid,
maybe that was maybe Vince had the original idea for Patreon, so he was gonna then sell Kane burning himself
on
like a post pay-per-view Patreon.
Fucking I was gonna say, when I was a kid, when I saw it, I thought that they had him cover up completely because I was like he's completely covered up though, so that means he's gonna burn himself so they can fucking like gimmick it or something. Like, yeah. But that's not what happened.
Yeah, it's kind of like you know when they have an Inferno match now and you see the guy completely covered, you go, all right, that's probably that.
Yeah. Well, that's what happened in the Inferno match with Kane. It also is he had that full suit and then they did the gimmick with the arm.
Yeah. So I tried to do this earlier. I want
to. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember Kane when was that around the time that he had the special powers? Was that 98 when he would
he would do the thing with the
Okay.
So I wanted.
Do you remember when the guy fell off? He shot the lightning bolt and the guy fell off the Titantron. There was someone standing on the Titantron for some reason, and like he was shooting camera and the guy fell off of. Yeah. I'm like, why was that guy there? Like, who? What is he doing?
And they light that poor guy on
For
fire.
some reason. It was for no reason. He was up there for zero reason at all.
Those were fun
I was
episodes of
gonna go
Raw,
to a
dude.
completely
Those were
unrelated
super
moment.
fun episodes of Raw.
So I'm gonna read off some names really quick, right? And you're gonna tell me which one does not belong. Bret Hart, Owen Hart, Stone Cold Triple H, Ken Shamrock, King Mabel, King Booker, King Barrett, Kurt Angle, Edge, Brock Lesnar, Xavier Woods. Which
Ken
one doesn't
Shamrock.
belong with the rest?
Ken
Why?
Shamrock.
Are you saying Ken Shamrock? Is that your angle here?
No.
Are you
bro.
saying Xavier Woods, you racist?
Yeah,
Are
Xavier
you
Woods
trying to
does not belong.
say Xavier Woods?
So anyway, back to
I
Xavier
think
Woods.
honestly, no, but I feel like they could have done more with the Xavier Woods thing, especially with like, I'm not saying he had to beat Roman at the time, but they could have given him like a mid card title or something like that, like because
Well,
there was
well,
nothing
I
going
think-
on with the Intercontinental title at the time. Nothing going on with the United States title at the time. He could have gotten something.
Didn't everybody get hurt in New Day right after he won the King of the Ring?
Pretty much, yeah, because I believe Big E was already hurt,
Mm-hmm.
and then Kofi
Kofi
had,
hurt
like,
his
a
knee.
thing. Yeah, Kofi had a thing, so he was already not wrestling, but he was like coming out with him. But then yeah, he got hurt after I think they had a tag match with maybe the Usos or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he got hurt, so then it was just him versus Roman by himself.
So
but yeah,
they
I
had
think
to botch the storyline. Then they had to like scrap it.
maybe
But once-
maybe there were plans for it to go a different way, but Kofi had to be involved and he wasn't. So I don't know.
If they were to bring back the King of the Ring now, Noah, who would you put that on?
If they were to bring back King of the Ring right now,
And not as like a gimmick funny thing, like the Kofi thing. Like I'm talking like somebody that could take that, run with it, and put some type of legitimacy with it.
if they were to bring it back now, who would I put it on? Shit. Who am I thinking? I'm thinking maybe. I feel like the obvious answer would probably be Gunther.
That's where I was at too as well. I was on Gunther train as well. I mean, I know Thrasher's not a huge fan of Gunther just because of his matches, but if you're gonna take that and put it on something that's got to be serious, and he's almost like a Lance Storm but bigger, and
I would put it on Lance Storm.
Today.
Yeah, right now.
why wouldn't you put it on Finn?
Oh, that's a good candidate too.
Finn is not a bad idea, honestly, because I guess we all thought
Well, you could also put it on Dominic.
no.
No.
Why? Dominic has great heat, bro. I love Dominic.
He gets good heat, but I feel like it would be a joke thing, and I feel like it would also be kind of like they're just giving him this.
Well, I don't mean.
I'm gonna
guess
throw a
I shouldn't.
curveball in there. I have a
Go ahead.
sleeper pick, but I don't know if we're on the same wavelength.
I think
but
we might be.
my other option was gonna be L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Oh.
I like that. I like that a lot. But I don't know how serious it would get taken. I was actually on the wavelength of Bronson Reed. You're coming off beating.
You know what? I don't hate that.
You're
I
coming
don't
off
hate
beating.
Bronson.
I know.
I like LA Knight.
Thrasher's
I like
not
LA
happy,
Knight
right?
better.
I know Thrasher's being really quiet right now, but yeah, Bronson Reed being legitimate and or establishing some type of legitimacy within New Japan, going overseas, coming back over. They kind of play him off with the Miz for a minute, but that goes away pretty quickly. I think they caught the backlash of that, and I'm not sure Bronson Reed was a fan of that, but they niched the Miz project with Bronson Reed, and now I mean he was in a great match the other night. He helped carry that match with Austin Theory and Bobby Lashley. But go ahead, Thrasher. I know you got it.
How about we give a nod and give something back to Dolph Ziggler?
Yep, that should go on.
Dolph
I'm
Ziggler can
not
go.
against Dolph. I'm not. I don't think his time is like past. I feel like they treat him as if his time is past.
Exactly. I think
but
the
I
dude
feel
can
like
go
he can
still.
definitely come in and like.
I don't think he's had enough of a time to be passed. He hasn't had anything.
I'd love to see him and Carmelo Hayes going at that NXT title, man. I think that would be some great matches.
Or let's say, I said Dolph Ziggler. But what about like, I don't know, someone like Santos Escobar?
I think with him being, I think honestly, I think with him being kind of like, I don't want to say coattail to Rey Mysterio right now, but because I
You
felt
got to
like
branch
they
him
kind of
off. You got to branch him off to do something else. So that's how you branch him off to do.
they kind of dumped his whole faction type thing and just joined them up with Rey,
Rey
which
Mysterio.
I don't really care for. Like, I mean, I get it, but I don't feel like it's fair to him because I feel like, or like any of those guys, honestly, because I feel like they had a good thing going with their little faction, and then they brought Zelina in as like, the girl on the main roster.
You're like our Rey
they could have had
Mysterio. We brought you in, you know?
You said what?
We brought you into our like little faction.
Yeah, like they kind of like, they were showing him
No
respect
one
as their
was like
faction,
so
and then he kind of was
confused.
like,
What the
all right, but like I like this little idea, and I saw the
fuck
shirts
you-
you had in NXT, so how about we just go ahead and do the whole thing?
Yeah, because
Nah,
that's
but
the cool thing to do. You stick black wrestlers with black wrestlers, you stick Mexican wrestlers with Mexican wrestlers. That's what they do, man. That's the cool thing to do, right? Like
I mean,
they
I'm
stick
pairing
white
them.
Russians with the white Russians.
But honestly, if you take Santos Escobar away from his faction that he's in, remember when he was feuding with Swerve in NXT?
Yep.
Really good wrestling. I was so proud and like happy to review those matches because like it was like, oh my gosh, there's real wrestling on NXT.
yeah, no, he was killing shit.
So if
Who
all
else
right,
was
so
I
we know the
thinking?
winners, right? We know our notable winners like Ken Shamrock. However,
Who's
who
your favorite winner?
no, I don't want to go favorite. Who
Triple
took
H.
shut up? Who who took it the furthest? Who took the King of the Ring and really legitimately turned their career corner? Like they were
Triple H.
on the right path. Shut up. They were on
When he did.
and then they won King of the Ring and they just excelled that even 10 times hard. I would
King
say
Booker.
So what I feel like
I would say
what
Stone
Joe is asking is why is the answer Booker T, and
Yep.
because he's
why
black.
And
why
why
do
should
you
it be
personally
Triple
feel
H?
like the
No, I'm
answer is
just
Booker
kidding.
T?
No, I
Stone Cold. Stone Cold.
I love King Booker. I said Stone Cold. I love King Booker though. I'll take King Booker. King
I'm going
Booker.
Booker only because I feel like if we're looking at it in the context of taking the whole King of the Ring thing and running with it,
Oh
it
yeah,
has to be
yeah.
Booker.
Yeah, sure.
Like he
Sure.
parlayed that into a world championship,
That's
and I
turning
don't
a
think
whole
anybody
different
else has done
character.
it with still the King of the Ring thing being like
I
their
was
thing.
I was gonna bring that up. If you look at the list of winners, like it's really not like it's one of usually like with gimmick shows or pay-per-views and stuff like that, like there's a pretty like majority to minority of like winners and like people that have actually turned it into like a title run. But with the King of the Ring, it's like it's really like half and half. Like there's not a lot of direct title runs that came out of them winning King of the Ring, which is weird because when it started, that was the whole point, I think.
Purpose of it, yeah.
But then as it got later and later, and then I think eventually they changed the stipulation, even if there was one. I mean, obviously there wasn't. Billy Gunn was in a kiss my ass match at SummerSlam. But but they changed it to being the Intercontinental title eventually, I think, is what they did. But yeah.
Well, that's just like the Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank match, I think, takes the allure away from the Royal Rumble match winner. Because at the Money in the Bank, you can go after any title you want, you can cash it in. To where the Royal Rumble, you could, if you win the Royal Rumble, you could face whoever you want at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So I think they contradict each other, and I think they're so close in pay-per-view seasons that it kind of like overrides each other.
What if they turned? What if they? Well,
I
they'd have
feel
to
like
move.
what they've been trying. I ain't gonna say what they've been trying to do, but I do feel like there is, with you saying that, and then seeing with the whole like the way the whole Austin Theory thing went. I feel like maybe they're trying to like, I don't want to say do away with the whole Money in the Bank is the world title type thing, but I feel like they're trying to like broaden its horizons at least. So I feel like the next couple of winners are probably only gonna win like a. Like I feel like maybe like okay, if I'm fucking wondering in my imaginative mind, maybe that's the way they get the IC title off of Gunther. Like maybe he has a hellacious match with somebody. Let's say fucking I don't know. Let's throw a name out there. He has a hellacious match with somebody, and then the Money in the Bank winner comes and cashes it in on him to
Bronson
get the
Reed.
belt off of him. And that's the way they kind of transition him because realistically, right now, we don't see, I feel like, and it's totally off topic, but I don't think we see anybody beating him for the title right now.
Right.
As
Braun
it
Breaker.
stands.
Braun Breaker. That has to be right.
Absolutely not.
But
Why? Why not? Why not Braun Breaker coming up, getting the Intercontinental?
that's actually another good King of the Ring winner if they did it now.
Yeah, dude. Now, my thing was when I mentioned who took it the furthest and who made it into something, the only reason I was really excited to say, I said Stone Cold, but King Booker, because we know Bret Hart, and Bret Hart was kind of that same character with King of the Ring. Same thing with Owen, same thing with Austin.
He went from Booker T to King Booker. I'm pretty sure that transcended his character.
Yeah,
And then he parlayed King Booker into the world title. That's what he
Yeah.
did.
And thus making it more successful.
He was the Booker T that was in prison at one point, and now he's running around King Booker, and that was so cool to see because it was a different side of him than we saw growing up with Harlem Heat. We saw him with Harlem Heat. We knew what he was. He was an animal. This guy, what, 6'3", 6'4",
4 or 5.
Mhm.
I think it's like
Pounds.
6, yeah, like 6'4".
yacked.
Fucking freak athlete.
roided out. Him and Stevie Ray were roided. I watched the other day them fighting High Voltage on WCW Nitro. Roids. They were
Come on. Hey, don't forget they had Big T too.
They have a big what?
Big T.
Teeth?
No, Big T. If you don't remember who Big T was,
Oh,
with Stevie Ray.
Yes, I know who you're
Yeah,
talking
they
about.
did feud
I
over
thought
the
you said
letter
Big
T.
T.
They feuded over the letter T. It
Right.
was Ahmed Johnson.
Yep. And Booker T.
They feuded over
Letter
the
T
letter
on a
T.
Put it on a poll, bro. It'll be over.
And put the letter T on the poll.
But yeah, no, I do feel like Booker T, if you're just going off the stipulation itself, I feel like nobody else on this list actually parlayed their win into the world, directly into the world title.
Yeah,
I would have to
exactly.
say.
That's what I was saying. It really isn't any of them, almost at all. If I'm looking at this correctly. Brock Lesnar, maybe? Did that turn into a title shot and he won?
Yeah, but I think he went to
but Brock
Intercontinental
Lesnar was
first.
already on the path.
And that's why I
I
said
feel
Braun
like Brock
Breaker is
Lesnar was
going
already on the
Intercontinental
path
because
already.
that's the route that wrestlers went. Wrestlers went from Intercontinental to the heavyweight title. That was the route. So why wouldn't if they're gonna bring back, right? They're trying to bring back something to capture the fans' attention, give them that feel of the old day of old school wrestling. Why not Gunther going and losing the Intercontinental title and then going into that title picture, not with Roman, but that brand new heavyweight championship that just came out with the 10 pounds of gold that looks like shit. I collect belts, and that belt is absolutely trash. So
You heard it first,
I don't know how I
America.
feel about it yet.
you can't read it. It looks like garbage. You want to be able to read a belt.
It looks like a penny is put on the front of it.
Yeah,
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, I don't get why they put that thing in the middle. It's really it's just not good.
It's just not good.
Gunther winning,
I mean,
Gunther
to
going
be
after
honest,
that title would be
it throws
great.
me off because I feel like they could have just, honestly, in my humble opinion, they could have just done the same big gold plate, and if they want to do the side plate thing, then sure, do that. But you didn't have to slap the logo dead in the middle.
They could have did the big gold again and literally just made the WWE bigger and wider and go more into it from the top.
Yeah,
than
and just
a,
did the new
a
logo on it.
nipple on the belt. It's so weird.
Well, so
I
I'm a
just
part
feel
of some belt pages. Somebody took and edited it and said, "Yo, how's this look?" And what they did was they did black outline to all the words of World Heavyweight Champion, and then they did a black outline to the WWE logo, and it looked so much more legible. It looked you were able to read it and understand what it was. Just now, just like you said, a giant penny just slapped on a gold fucking plate. It looks like garbage. And
Nipple.
I collect belts. Like my favorite belt over there is the Intercontinental. I have 4 of them, and I love that fucking spinner. Like the spinner is one of my favorite titles. It's so cool. But that
You have
belt.
an Intercontinental spinner.
No, I'm saying I have 4 spinner as well.
Do you have the US spinner?
I don't. That's very hard to come by. If you find one, they're like $600.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're very hard to come
Doesn't
by.
it come with John Cena's name, like default?
Doesn't it come with John Cena?
I have
You can't see him, so it might as well come
So
with him.
it does come with them, yes.
I have a UK belt. I have an NXT belt. On my NXT belt, on one side plate is Johnny Gargano, and on the other side plate it's Tommaso Ciampa, which is really cool.
Actually, now that you say his name, you just reminded me. That was my other sleeper pick for the King of the Ring.
Tommaso.
Yes, Tommaso.
Yeah,
I would love to see Tommaso actually get a run on the main roster, being the.
He's just got to stay healthy. He's got to stay healthy.
Bro, I met him. I met Chris. Remember I met him at SeaWorld?
Yeah.
Dude, he was so cool, bro. I met him. He was changing his daughter in the bathroom. And like, I walk in and I got Roman. And as I'm walking out, I see him and I'm just like, and I'm trying not to look down because obviously there's a child being changed. I'm just seeing him and I'm like, oh God. So I walk out and I say, Sam. And before I can go, hey, I think I saw Tommaso Ciampa. My wife out of nowhere goes, babe, is that Tommaso Ciampa over there? And I'm like, hey, Tommaso, fanboying. Nice to meet you. But he was cool, man. He was a cool dude.
You did send us that picture.
Yeah, dude, he's cool as shit. He's yacked.
See, fans, we're actually friends outside of the podcast. No matter how much shit we give each other on camera.
So Chris, who was your King of the Ring pick? Who would you say would be a good pick?
Dolph Ziggler.
Dolph Ziggler.
Mm-hmm.
So
Slawson said Lance Storm right now.
No,
Lance Storm
who
right
would you
now.
pick right now? Braun Breaker? Bronson Reed?
Who would I pick right now? No, I wouldn't pick him. I would actually have to. Let me think for like 10 seconds.
Mikey Whipwreck.
Right now, Mikey Whipwreck right now. The Terry Funk? No.
Tory
Balls
Funk.
Mahoney right now.
I think
Holy
the
shit.
one that makes the most sense gimmick wise is Gunter, but if I had to choose somebody just because I like them better, it's somebody said LA Knight, and that definitely took the cake with me. I like LA Knight.
Yeah.
Because again, gimmick wise, I feel like because like we just said, like this thing rarely turns into anything. So I feel like if anything, it just ups, it gets you a little bit more on your gimmick to run with, huh?
Bray Wyatt.
I don't know. I feel like
No, I think
I just feel
that's
like,
why
honestly,
like
and I
Undertaker
know-
never won one. Yeah, like
technically, I mean, I feel like, and 3 of us have all picked the same guy, but I feel like it just fits with his character. And then I feel like just seeing the visual of him, and I feel like, granted, other than the crown and the fucking the robe and the like that, I feel like they should do a trophy. So I just feel like the visual of him like, with the trophy.
Did Sheamus
in
ever win
hand
one?
And then raising the fucking
Sheamus is
IC
King of the Ring.
title with the
like
other hand.
like Owen Hart style.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sheamus
Gunther
was
with the
King of the Ring, King
trophy
Sheamus.
and the fucking IC title in the other hand, and he just looks fucking dominant. And I feel like that in itself, automatic, just that visual would elevate him to like, because I feel like people are already trying to like put him into that like world title kind of picture, but I feel like the visual in itself automatically elevates him. Whether it's the fucking world title, I guess it would have to be the world title now because he's on Raw.
Does
at the
it
same
disappoint
time-
you if he gets the big gold?
I honestly feel like he shouldn't go. Now that we're thinking about it, if they do that, I feel like they have to like let. Obviously, we know where they're going. They're 89% sure they're going with Seth,
Why not?
and he's gonna like build the prestige on the title because he's a guy that can hold a title that fucking didn't have any history and like make it feel like it's worth something.
The guy
So
took
obviously they
13
can't go
months in a
straight.
row losses at pay-per-views. 13 months in a row, I believe it was, or something like that. He lost at a pay-per-view. Like, he didn't win a pay-per-view for over a year.
It doesn't matter though.
Like, the guy deserves a nice title run. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you could
Oh,
take
I
Yeah,
thought
it
you were
doesn't
saying
like,
that why would he
he's
get
the
a
one
title?
guy, but that's the thing. That's the thing in itself. He's the one guy. Well, I ain't gonna say the one guy, but he's one of the guys that they have on their roster who can take that many losses and it not mean that much because he is who he is.
Exactly. Yo, I'm gonna end the King of the Ring talk with this one here. Imagine if they put it on Cody Rhodes, and it would be so
I
funny.
didn't even think of that.
Huh?
I didn't even think of that. But
Imagine they put it on Cody Rhodes just because of the King of Kings thing, the throne from AEW.
That would be terrible.
That would be funny. Complete your story, Cody. This is all you fucking get. You're the king.
Complete your story. No,
Yeah.
brother. So listen, we saw you break the throne.
What did you go to be your fucking throne?
and then Triple H comes out, pedigrees him. He's the King of the Ring again.
Again, yeah.
Did anybody catch Jacksonville last night for Raw? They booed Cody. They booed Cody.
Oh, did they?
Oh, they booed Cody. They weren't going Cody. They were going boo. Oh, it was
That's
bad.
funny.
Even my wife is like, "Isn't that Cody Rhodes?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "He's a good guy, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." And
But
I'm like,
you know,
"We're in
Jacksonville.
That's AEW territory. He's gonna get booed out of the building." So, but all right, we're gonna move on to the final segment of today's show, and it's always my favorite. And I'm actually gonna start keeping track of these. So 3 a week, we are gonna be doing these. There are gonna be 3 of them every week, and we don't know what companies they're gonna be. We don't know when, what years, nothing. So, I got all right, we're gonna start with we'll go 1-1-1. All right, cool. I like that. All right, so we're gonna start with this one here. This one works for me. All right. Actually, I'm gonna go this one. All right. So this is gonna be my earliest. Is everybody ready? In case you don't know, this is Guess the Program. Guess the Program. We read off a card. I read off a card to the 3 contestants.
No Way Out 2000.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. It's that part of the show
we
where
have
you pour up a glass, your favorite Ian J Brandy, and play along with us.
Yeah.
On Guess the Program. Please put your guesses in the comments, and we will be checking timestamps, so we will know if you actually watch the entire video and then guess that.
All right. Today's contestants are 2 people and a black guy. All right, so well, Thrasher, clear your throat.
I mean,
what do you mean 2 people and a black guy?
Yeah. What do you mean by you people?
All right, so the first one, this is this is a big match. Man, I chose a big card. Big card. Holy shit. All right, so this
WrestleMania 17.
This first one only had 4 matches.
Oh.
The first match was the Ultimate Warrior, Brutus Beefcake, Sam Houston, the Blue Blazer, and Jim Brunzell defeat the Honky Tonk Man, Ron Bass, Danny Davis, Greg Valentine, and Bad News Brown. All right. And then we had the next match, the Powers of Pain. Who was the Powers of Pain?
Is that the Barbarian and fucking
Warlord?
Yep.
Yeah.
The Powers of Pain, the Rockers, the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, and the Young Stallions defeated.
Oh my God. I know what this is.
Demolition, the Brainbusters, the Bolt Shifts, the Fabulous Rougeos, and the Conquistadors. All right. The next match you had, oh God, bro. This was a horrible card. All right, we're gonna skip this one. I'm gonna find a different one for you guys. By the way, that was Survivor Series.
I just had to listen to all these names. We knew.
I was about to say this was that really bad Survivor Series.
Survivor Series.
Was that Survivor 89 or 88?
88.
God damn it. I was gonna.
That's where they went. They were 5. It was 5-on-5, or like they had it was like 10 men.
5 teams.
I was just getting lost.
5 teams.
Words. I was getting lost reading. All right, so we're gonna go to an easier card here. All right, first match.
That was an easy card.
ENC Connection, Edge and Christian defeated D-Generation X. However, this DX consisted of X-Pac and Road Dogg. All right. And then the next match, you had Dean Malenko defeating Scotty 2 Hottie. We had the Big Boss Man and Bull Buchanan defeating the APA. You have Crash Holly defeating Matt Hardy, Jeff Hardy, Hardcore Holly, Perry Saturn, and Taz in a 6-pack hardcore match. You have Big Show defeating Kurt Angle. You have the wonderful team of TNA defeating the Dudley Boys. Eddie Guerrero defeated Ese Rios. Chris Benoit defeats Chris Jericho. And The Rock defeated Triple H for the.
Oh, I know this one.
Yeah.
I just watched this one.
So, what card is this? What year did it take place, and what city?
I know the year and the card, but the city.
Give me the year and the card, Noah. What you got?
This is Backlash 01. I just watched this like last week. This is Backlash 01 for sure. The city. Fuck. Damn it. No, this was what? Was
Now,
this
I'm gonna
Washington?
keep track. This is a 3-point system.
Was this Washington, D.C.?
Okay. What's your guess, Slawson?
I think it's 2000. I feel.
Oh
it's not-
shit! No.
Backlash
It is
2000.
Backlash
Your
2000.
answers are locked in. Your answers are locked in.
Fuck.
I was gonna say Backlash 2000.
God
boom.
damn it.
Where did it
watched
take
it
place?
both.
Where did
Too
it
much
take-
E&J.
Where did it take place?
Please
I think it was
sponsor us,
in
E&J
Pittsburgh,
Brandy,
Pittsburgh,
please.
Pennsylvania.
I'm gonna say Tupelo, Mississippi.
All right.
Tupelo. God
So-
damn it. I fucked myself.
Each of you, on a 3-point system, each of you received 2 points. Each of you.
It
This-
was in Tupelo. That's good to know.
So it was Backlash 2000 in Washington, D.C.
It was Backlash 2000 in Washington, D.C.
Fuck
Oh,
me.
nice.
Congratulations. All right, gentlemen. So we're gonna move on to our next match. This next card had 10 matches. All right. We have the first one: Jim Powers versus Pat Tanaka. Yeah,
Pat Tanaka.
you have
I
Psycho.
haven't heard that name since Bash at the Brew 18.
You have Psychosis and Juventud Guerrero defeating Damien and Halloween. Dean Malenko defeated Rey Mysterio. DDP defeated Eddie Guerrero. The Giant defeated Jeff Jarrett by disqualification. Six, our favorite wrestler, defeated Chris Jericho. Lex Luger defeated Arn Anderson.
Armed Anderson.
Arn. The Four Horsemen, which was Steve Mondo McMichael and Chris Benoit, defeated the Faces of Fear. The Outsiders defeated Harlem Heat. And Hollywood Hulk Hogan defeated Macho Man Randy Savage.
Shit.
This
Thrasher, you go first.
This is WCW, obviously. I think it is Uncensored 97.
In what city?
Detroit, Michigan.
All right. Bossy, baby.
I'm gonna go with Tupelo, Mississippi.
He guesses the city first.
I feel like it's 96.
I feel like it's what?
It's 96, not 97. But I could definitely be wrong.
All right. What pay-per-view?
I'm gonna go with
Jesus.
start. No, no.
Having a
that's-
stroke?
I know that's wrong. No.
Lockdown 96.
No way out. 2000.
1. All right.
All right. I'll go with uncensored 97 as well.
No, you already said 96.
Okay, then uncensored 96. That's also wrong, but I'm going with
All
96.
right, Noah, what do you got?
What did you say the main was?
The main was Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus Macho Man Randy Savage.
I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna tell you. Well, when I guess the city, you're gonna understand why. I'm going with Bash at the Beach, '97, in Daytona Beach, Florida.
All right, this was a good one. Congratulations, Slawson. You're the only person to get 1 point out of this correctly. You guessed
Fuck yeah. I knew it was fucking Tupelo, Mississippi.
This show took place at the Las Vegas MGM Grand in 1996. It is Halloween Havoc.
Oh, dude, I was gonna
I
fucking
knew
say
he was gonna
Halloween
do
Havoc,
a
but I thought
fucking
that was wrong
Halloween Havoc.
too.
I should have known that.
My favorite setup.
I knew it wasn't Starcade.
All right, last one of the night. I found another one. Just last one of the night. All right, Slawson, you're gonna go first on this one. All right, Santino Marella defeats Vladimir Kozlov, or Santino Marella and Vladimir Kozlov defeat Heath Slater and Justin Gabriel. Dolph Ziggler defeated Kofi Kingston. Alex Riley defeated The Miz. Alberto Del Rio defeats Big Show. Ezekiel Jackson defeats Wade Barrett. CM Punk defeated Rey Mysterio. Randy Orton defeated Christian. Evan Bourne defeated Jack Swagger, and John Cena defeated R-Truth in the main event. Well, city, place, show, everything. The year, give me it. What do you got, Slawson?
I'm gonna go 2000. R-Truth. That's fucking throwing me off a whole lot.
I think I got it.
2012.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with a what did they have back in them 2012s? I'm just gonna say fucking Unforgiven.
What city?
Fucking West Memphis, Arkansas.
All right.
West of Memphis. Is that even a real city?
Noah, what do you got?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with. Oh, okay. Fuck. What year was WrestleMania here?
Oh,
2017. Oh, in Miami?
2012?
Yeah.
That
2012.
was 2012, yeah.
Yeah, I was there. I was rocking Cena. I feel like Thrasher's going to get this one.
I'm going to go with. That was 2012.
I think I have it, but I don't know
I'm
the
going
year.
with Capital Punishment
Oh.
2010 in Washington, D.C.
See, I don't have the year. It is Capital Punishment, but I think it's
I don't have the year.
2011.
I'm not 100% on
I
the
think
year.
it's 2011 Capital Punishment in Washington, D.C.
Well, no, because the pipe bomb was in 20.
Well,
Money in
that's
the
it.
Bank
Answers are
2011
locked
is
in.
when.
The winner, 14 nights, guess the program show with two people
Is
in
the
a black
black
guy, is Chris Thrasher. You went 3 for 3 on that final. It was Capital Punishment 2011 in Washington,
That's
D.C.
bullshit.
However,
Fuck me.
there was only one version of Capital Punishment. It was reinstated back to No Way Out in June 2012. Capital Punishment
That's how I knew it wasn't earlier than 2011.
Yes, Capital Punishment took place in no other year. It took place
Fuck
in
me.
one year, and that was it. Yes, R-Truth did. If you guys remember, I believe that was the R.
That was Little Jimmy. Little Jimmy.
That was
No,
Little
but
Jimmy
Miz
era
and
R-Truth.
Rick
That's
Owens
actually
in
the
Hell
only
in the
pay-per-view he's
Cell.
ever main evented.
Yeah, I believe that was the Miz and him were Hell in the Cell, and they rip it open, and then Triple H.
Because then, you know what? Because I was thinking I was trying to figure out what year Rock and Cena did the tag match at the Royal Rumble. And that's what tripped me up. And I felt like it was 2011, but it was 2012.
All right, so we're gonna do this for the season. So we're gonna start here. Coming in carrying up the rear is none other than Slawson with 3 points, Noah with 4, and Thrasher with 5. Congratulations, gentlemen, on our first episode of Guest Lead Program. Now, we got some fun things coming this season. Obviously, we are actually paying Slawson some really good money, so be ready for some good outlines coming up. Next week, what are we talking about, boys? Next week, you guys want to talk about some favorite champions, maybe favorite intercontinental champion, maybe that could be part of the program. We can talk about.
We were talking about it. We were talking about before you got on. Slawson had some ideas.
Oh, what do you got, Slawsy?
We could do NWA in the WWF and talk about that handful of matches that was around the King of the Ring time, if you remember those.
Yeah, Jim Cornette, big.
Yeah. Bark Gun, fucking Sparky Plug, shit like that.
Poor Bark Gun, man. You have the best left hook in the business, and they treat you like shit.
The original Beast, Dan Severn, that guy was cut off fucking gray hoodie.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Wrestling Paradox Podcast, week number 2, season 3. Season 3. We're gonna be we might be renaming the show. I'm down. I'm down to take some votes in.
3 dads in a batch. Talk about wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this has been the Wrestling Paradox Podcast. Thank you so much for joining in. Is that a sign off?
E&J, please sponsor us.
Boom. Please. If you live in the Tupelo, Mississippi area,
anybody in Tupelo. Also, shout out to Washington, D.C. and the metro area there.
Vic Arson's from Tupelo, Mississippi, isn't he?
Who?
Vic Arson is from Tupelo, Mississippi.
From Tupelo, I think he's from